Alright, so today I am at the Aspire event in Dallas. It's actually Irving, but you get the idea. Here at the Toyota Music Factory. Try to get to where I'm out of the wind a bit more here. So here's today's question, and it's a pretty important question to today, which is, what is it worth to you to get one new idea, one new spark, one new thought? And I don't think there's any, there may not be a right answer to this question that applies universally to everybody, but I suppose I could use it as justification for spending the day here at this Aspire event. So what this event is essentially using celebrity business names, Mark Cuban, Marcus Lemonis, even David Goggins. So bringing in recognized names in order to get a captive audience and then sell them on further training. And so, of course, it's not the celebrities necessarily pitching you on the further training packages. It's the people that none of us knew before we got here, basically. So, anyway, but back to the question. Now, what is it worth to you to get a new idea and or a thought or an insight, a spark of some kind? Probably it depends a lot on where you're at. And it's probably hard to tell. Like, not all sparks are created alike, right? So, of all the ideas presented today, there's probably like 1% of them are maybe relevant to me at my stage of life, stage of business, and could have a powerful impact on what I'm doing and where I'm going. There's probably like another 10% that, maybe even more than that, maybe 20% of information that if I were to apply at the right time in the right way, could also be amazingly, tremendously valuable. But applied in the wrong way, at the wrong time, simply a distraction for me. And then there's probably, the remaining like 70% of the information or something like that. Probably superfluous, probably not doing much of anybody any good. But who knows, maybe it is, I don't know. So I justify the day somewhat on the idea that a new spark could be worth it. Sometimes doing days like this, it actually your own thinking, it sparks something in your own thinking, maybe that didn't come directly from someone on stage, and that can be valuable. To be honest, I kind of just want to come out and see these celebrities, and that was probably the big thing. Kind of view it a little bit like a field trip. So you know how you're doing schoolwork, and you're doing all the, learning all the basics of reading, writing, and arithmetic, and everything else that you got to learn in school. And then it's like, hey, today we're going on a field trip, right? And you're like, yeah, this is like really valuable. We're going to go out and really learn something. And you go out and see how cheese is made, or like candy, or like boxes. And it's good. It's to broaden your horizons and see how things are made, or to learn about reptiles or something. But how critical is it for your development? Probably not that critical. So today I'm kind of saying this is my field trip today. So the justification may be a little bit slender, but a fun day out basically. So something in between work and vacation, I suppose. Now, what about you? Do you value? Oh, here's another thought I had though on the whole spark thing. I hope the wind here is not making this video totally unwatchable. A spark to Mark Cuban or Marcus Lemonis might have a much greater impact than a spark to me at this stage of life. Now, I'm not, I'm not trying to do negative self-talk here, but when you're in a position where you've got a ton of leverage, right? You've got a ton of options. A new spark, a new way of thinking could, you can make some massive shifts with that, right? Whereas if you're don't have as much leverage, it might not make as big of a difference, at least in the short term, right? So in theory, any of us could get to a point where we have massive leverage, and in that case, a little spark that we get now could be amazingly helpful in the future. But at the same time here, folks, let's the reason some of these people are looked at as amazingly successful is because they are much more successful than the average. Now, do I believe it's possible for most people to be more successful than the average? Yes, I think so. But I think to hold all of ourselves up to them as kind of the standard, and that's what a good normal person would do, is become as wealthy as Mark Cuban, that's probably a little bit delusional. So anyway, now, is there true wealth that all of us can access? Absolutely. I have got a mansion that is being built for me currently, is my understanding, and or has been built already. And so at some point I'm going to move into that. But in the meantime, we'll see what we can figure out here.